What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. For some reason, I have a feeling she, too, collected insects as a child and maybe even set up underground fight clubs for spiders. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Why would you think that? Do I look like a serial killer?
Be honest. Teresa.
I collected shells for a little bit until the bully in my school made me give her all of them. Then I collected, but that was by accident. I had a little aquarium with fish. And when I went to buy fish, once in a while, my parents took me to the pet store so I could pick a new fish. They accidentally put in this snail. And it was a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
It could reproduce on its own. So all of a sudden it started reproducing, and then we had the whole aquarium. It was pretty small. Look at the size.
It's a 1.5 by 2 feet by a foot.
Yeah,
and
like
a
a
half.
small
Okay.
aquarium. So the snails were everywhere. So I made a business out of it. I started selling them in school.
Okay.
So I used to go out with a little plastic bag with snails, and I was giving it to kids.
And quite the entrepreneur.
Yeah, and then my parents got called to school because I was selling snails.
Shark Tank? No, Snail Tank.
So I was collecting those snails for a little bit. Then I got grounded for my brilliant idea. But yeah, what else? I collected Pokemon for a little bit.
No, I'm more concerned about the live animals you were collecting.
No, just the snails. But it was for business.
Okay.
I made money on the snails.
Not to be confused with pleasure, folks. This was purely a business play.
The money I made on the snails, I then go and bought Poggy. Do you say the same thing?
Pogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some things are just universal. I love that you guys played Pogs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Pogs.
Yeah. It used to be a thing where I feel like you would go and you would collect the finest Pog you could find.
Oh, yeah.
And then it became less of a quality and more of a quantity game. And I would just go to Costco and I would buy a tub. They would sell a tub of Pogs.
Lucky.
Yes, but no, because there was something sweet about like finding the perfect Pog or one that related to your interest or your favorite character. And then it just became like, oh, look how many Pogs I have.
Yeah.
And the slammers. And they had
the slammers.
they had the plastic slammers and the metal slammers.
The metal slammers were so good.
That's unbelievable.
We had a kid in the class and he was rich. Like he came from a rich family. And no one else was. We were all like middle class kids, right?
Yeah.
All of us, we get allowance of like $1 a week, maybe not even. And this guy, he always had like the best stuff. Always was bringing candy from Austria because his dad worked in Austria. And he had like crush on me in like a first and second grade. So he was always giving me the best Pogs. Good stuff.
That's sweet. What's he up to now?
Huh?
What's he up to now?
I mean, we're Facebook friends. I think he has like 2 kids.
Nice.
I mean, I haven't talked to him since like the 2nd or 3rd grade.
Nice.
He left our school afterwards. I think he went to a school in Austria. So
Guys, I think he was trying to slam her.
when we were 6 years old, sure.
Yikes.
But yeah, Pogs, good time. I didn't know you played Pogs.
Oh, yeah. Big Pog player for a
Really?
summer. I think that lasted for like a summer.
I lasted for like a year or 2 for me.
Well,
I was obsessed.
It was Europe. You guys didn't have much going on over there.
I
had Hansen to distract me. You guys had nothing going on over there.
What are you talking about? We have a lot going on.
Okay.
A lot going on.
All right. We have a lot going on over here, too. We're here to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Before we do, real quick, a little business. Guys, are you watching 90 Day Love in Paradise? If you're not, you should be.
Guys, that thing is just amazing.
Out of control.
Out of control.
So if you want to hear our thoughts on it, join us on Patreon. Join us on Supercast. Patreon.com/MarriedToReality. MarriedToReality.supercast.com. Of course, it's ad-free over there. We throw bonuses at you guys once in a while. You get the Love in Paradise. If you're on the Family Affair level, you get the video of the podcast plus a monthly bonus. We just did the premiere of MILF Manor Season 2.
I'm definitely watching.
The MILFs are back.
The MILFs are back.
And spoiler alert, so are the DILFs.
Guys, I mean, yes, I have to catch up because it's on right now as we're recording.
Yeah.
Just a full transparency. But I will be catching up.
Absolutely. So we're talking about Love in Paradise on the Patreon and Supercast. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Why? Because you can message us over there. When we say call in, that's our direct line. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, Instagram, the Patreon, message us everywhere.
Yes, we want to hear your thoughts on everything we're talking about. Also, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot
Somebody didn't do their homework.
as the gators in the Everglades, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Ate them all, of course. Anyone watching the Jinx?
Ooh.
Ate them all, of course.
I had a thought. I just didn't write it down, which I usually do. But of course, the gators, guys.
So hot.
We are, I was going to say we're native Floridians. We're not, but we live here.
We're pretending. We're trying to blend in over here.
Yeah, I think we need to embrace the gators more. We're so afraid. Everyone just like, me. Like, oh, a friend of mine was like, yeah, like we went biking this past weekend, just saw like a few gators on the trail, so we just had to go around them. I'm like, oh, that sounds fun.
I literally saw an Instagram reel, I think, of that the other day. There was 2 gators right in the trail, and the bike's just like kind of like nudging them a little bit. I'm like, what are you guys, nuts?
Yeah, you just kind of need to go about your day. Just sometimes they can just chill and let you be. But did you see the video of a gator like launching on the golf cart?
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
that
they
was
can.
Nuts.
Those guys can take off. They're pretty fast.
They can take off
if they want to be. So smash like it's as hot as the Everglades. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, you know it would make our day, possibly make our week and month. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it right here on the podcast.
Yes.
All right. That is the business. What do you say before we get into the meat of the episode? We do a little 90-day, by the way.
Let's hear it because I did not help you at all this past week.
You didn't, and I could have used a little help. I think I have one pretty solid one and one so-so one, if I'm going to be...
You should have hollered.
If I'm going to be honest with our friend. Well, I like to surprise you on the pod. I feel like those are the best 90 days, by the way, is when you don't know what's going on. So I know one I think is going to really excite you.
All right. So start with the less exciting one.
Okay. David of David and Annie has made a career change once again. He's gone from selling his cooking classes online with Annie to teaching English to now a classic 90-day move.
He's an OnlyFans.
He's not on OnlyFans. Oh. That is the next step. That is the final step in the complete 90-day transformation. You move to Florida and you go on OnlyFans. No. Real estate agent.
All right.
Okay. He recently shared on social media that he got his real estate license in Arizona, not Florida. He's working for Fielder's Choice Realty.
Okay.
Wherever he sails a home run or something like that is what it says on their website.
All right.
Yeah, he put out a video saying his first day was, as he says, interesting. Okay. He got 3 calls. Pretty good for your first day.
Okay.
My mom's a realtor. We know it can be tough out there, especially now. Everyone's a realtor now.
Everyone's a realtor, but also I think a lot of people are still buying houses. Not like during the pandemic.
It's definitely slowing down from what I've heard, but everyone and their mother, pun intended, became a realtor, although mine's been a realtor for 40 years. And so I think the competition is hard out there to really make a name for yourself. But he got 3 calls the first day.
Nice.
All of them just people who wanted to say hi. Because, yes, he's a little bit of a local celeb. And so it's just people calling saying hi, tell Annie we love her. So
Didn't they have a baby?
I think they have one on the way. I think they're working on that.
Well, I feel like she gave birth or maybe she was holding someone else's baby, but
maybe. I know they've been trying.
I always forget that she is so much younger. Like she must be 29, 30. Maybe she's in her 30s already, but
I don't know.
She's so much younger than him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but I think they either had the baby or one's on the way, so maybe he's settling down, getting a big boy job.
Good for them. They were one of the couples when they were on their season, and we obviously watched. We didn't podcast at the time, but I was like, she's scamming this man.
Yeah.
But they're still going strong, and they're one of my favorite 90-day couples, like the real ones, like the ones that I'm like, that's love. Like Kenny and Armando.
I wonder if he's paid off the bot that he needed to pay off by this point. So there you go. Good for you, David. If you're in Arizona and you want to buy or sell a home, or even just say hi, apparently, give David a call.
Nice.
Okay. By the way, number 2. Jabri and Miona are officially done.
Yeah.
There's been rumors for weeks, maybe months.
She just went on a hike with a man.
Okay. So ever since Jabri disappeared to Thailand, there's really been rumors. The other day, Miona went Instagram official with her new man, Terzel Ron, not to be confused with Tarzel, Tariq and Hazel. Of course, don't confuse it with that. But she posted a photo of the two of them with a short and a sweet caption. It just said us. Okay, so she's making it official. Hard launched, as the kids say. Hard launched her boyfriend on Instagram. Now, this is my bad, and this is the exciting part, because I got to do my research. That's why I didn't come with this story the minute the street started whispering. Because I was like, I'm not going to tell my friends a possible lie. So I started doing more and more research, and I'm embarrassed because I should have come across this sooner. But a few weeks ago, Jabri dropped a song on Instagram.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the lyrics, it's pretty clear that they had broken up at that point. And not a bad song,
Good for Jabri. Is he still with that band? His friend David?
This is a solo performance. And I could tell you about the song, but I figured it's been a minute since we listened to some music on the pod. What if I played it for you?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so this is the song that Jabri launched on Instagram a few weeks ago, and I think it makes it pretty clear that they're done.
Love is a gamble that I've oftentimes failed. I sealed my heart and shipped it off in the mail. Went overseas, I had to leave and change my life. I had to leave everyone, even my dog and my wife. Sorry, Mimi. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I didn't think that there was any way that we could work through the strife between our families, the trauma and the tragedies, the fights that drained our batteries and put us both through agony.
Tell him.
Well, that's just how love goes. It didn't help. We put our business on a reality show and it was fun. We had a hell of a run, but damn, girl, I really thought you were the one. I had to leave. I didn't want to waste your time. I had a feeling you weren't supposed to be the mother of my children. I know I broke your heart. I broke the vows and broke the trust. But in the end, I know I did what's best for both of us.
Yikes.
I see you got a new man. I hope he treats you well. I pray for his sake that you don't put him through no hell. Controlling passive aggressiveness pushes men away. You're smart and you're beautiful, so I know you're going to be okay. But eventually that outer beauty always fades away.
He's the one who broke it off.
Makeup in the Photoshop. I know that there's a hole in your heart that bleeds and hurts a lot. I hope the wound's sealed.
Yeah, if I'm reading between the lines here, Teresa, he was the one who ended it.
He was the one who left.
He left. He said, not good enough to be the mother of my children, if you listen to that bar.
Yeah, but he also says, I don't know what happened, but it seems like he ended it and she was heartbroken and now he is happy for her that she found a new man.
Yeah.
I thought she left him. Based on no information, just in general.
Right. To me, it seemed like she broke up and then he was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm going to Thailand. I'm becoming a monk. Like, it seemed like some last-ditch effort to reclaim your sanity and find yourself. But apparently, no, he ended it, according to the lyrics. Can I say? Kind of a jam.
It's not bad.
Pretty good. Kind of really like it. So shout out to that song, Jabri.
Interesting.
Sounds like they're officially done. Jabri ended it and Miona has moved on.
Well, good for them, I guess.
So there you go. All right. That's 90 Day, by the way.
Nice.
Thank you. All right. Should we do it? The reason we're here? Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé, happily ever after.
Question mark.
8 for 8. Season 8, episode 8.
Yes. Before we do that, guys, we relocated so there is no more ghost.
We relocated last episode.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about it.
But we're still in the new location, a.k.a. on the other side of the bed.
On the other side of the bed, but there is no ghost. The ghost is in that corner.
But put your mic up. Let's listen.
No
ghost.
No ghost. But if I stood up and walked over, there's going to be the ghost.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
just a little update on our life living with a ghost.
Hopefully we found a safe haven over on this side of the room.
Wait for it.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Patrick and Thais. Patrick with the impeccable timing. Why would you, and I wouldn't do this, maybe you would, why would you light birthday candles while your wife is in the bathroom mid getting ready and just like, Thais,
I would definitely do that.
let the woman finish getting ready before you, if you want someone to truly enjoy this surprise, I would be like, my hair is half wet. My clothes are half on. Can you let me finish before I go?
That's a good point.
Right?
She was almost done, so.
Thought that counts. But I was like, it's one of those things where you're a little too excited for your own surprise or your own gift that you're not thinking about the other person. It's more about you.
True.
Where you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait. It's like, well, let's make sure it's enjoyable for them too.
You remember how I once totally freaked you out on your name day and you were like mad at me the entire day when I set up the dinosaur with the sign?
That's what I'm saying. It's basically what I was getting at, Teresa. For our friends who don't know this story, which I don't think anyone does, we were in New York.
No, we were in our first apartment in Florida.
We were?
Yeah.
So, okay, we were in Florida. I just remember it being very tight, like a very closed,
no,
like a small space.
You left the bedroom into the kitchen, so I set up the dinosaur. We have an inflatable dinosaur we once bought for Halloween.
We have an inflatable dinosaur we once bought for Halloween, and we've kept it out since as decoration. But it's probably 4 feet tall.
Yes.
Probably
we inflated and deflated, depends on the situation.
Yeah, special occasions.
Yeah, and so it wasn't inflated. That's why you were so freaked out. I inflated it that morning and stick a sign on it that said, Happy Name Day,
and
John.
You stuck like a hat, like a New Year's top hat on it. So now the thing's 4.5 going on 5 feet tall. Now, I'm not a morning person, if you guys know me. So I still have the sleepies in my eyes. I'm stammering around, not sure what day it is. And I opened it. You were gone, right? You went to work or something.
Yeah.
So T's off to work. I come out of the bedroom. I open up the door, and there's this 5-foot dinosaur in the doorway with a top hat on. It says Happy Name Day. I shrieked.
You were so mad at me.
That's not how you want to start your day. Thinking, 1, is it an intruder? 2, it's Florida. Is this a gator like come to life? It was this green inflatable dinosaur. It was terrifying.
It was a great surprise.
But yes, that's my point. Timing. Think about timing. When it's 6:45 a.m. and it's dark still and I don't know what's going on and I walk out, not the best timing. And 2, wouldn't you want to be there to see?
I have a feeling that I was there. Wasn't this during COVID or was I gone already?
No, it was pre-COVID.
Well, I wanted to surprise you. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Time to eat a little Brazilian birthday cake, which word on the street is way better than American birthday cake.
I've never had one, but I can see that. If it's all like natural sweeteners, I can see that.
I don't know if it is. I did some quick Googling because I wanted to know what makes this cake so special. And I found out like the national cake of Brazil is this brigadeiro cake, which is a very moist chocolate cake, which sounds good. And this did look somewhat similar to that. So that could be the case. Not a cake guy myself.
Me neither. No.
But I would say if you're traveling abroad, you should definitely check out the local dessert.
I like a homemade babichka style cheesecakes.
Okay. All right.
Those are good.
All right. So, okay, it's Thais' birthday. No time to party, though. It's time to meet up with Father Carlos. They just first need to figure out how they're going to get there.
Yes. Thais wants to drive, which why not, right? But she does not get past the garage.
No, this was the scene from Austin Powers. This was that classic scene where he gets stuck going back and forth in the golf cart. I wish this scene went on a little bit longer, because that would have been, the comedy would have come with time. But she kind of gave up rather quickly. And I was like, all right, whatever, you drive. The driving is becoming such a topic for this couple, the driving in Brazil. Patrick can't drive, doesn't understand the stop signs. Now Thais wants to drive, then she gives up.
Well, I wonder if she drives in the U.S.
No, their cars drive themselves. They have Teslas.
True. Does she have a Tesla too?
I'm sure that's a Tesla family if I've ever seen one.
True, but does she, like, she doesn't go to work or anywhere. So I'm wondering, like, does she actually drive?
I don't know. I think, yeah, she got home and was like, I miss these roads. And she wanted to drive and then quickly gave up on that idea. But you do the same. You always say you're going to drive when you get to check and then you never do.
Well, I will next time because I'm going to renew my driver's license, or I can get like a paper here in the US from AAA to be able to drive and check, because I should be able to drive my American driver's license.
I feel like your driving is more like a triple B minus, but...
What are you talking about? I drive all the time.
I'm a very good driver. No, you are somewhat of a decent driver.
I think you are an okay driver.
I'll take okay. All right. They get to the park. They're meeting Father Carlos at this park. Carlos was crying the second he saw the baby. It was
And Thais.
But like, see that, Jose? Take notes. Carlos,
Who's Jose?
Isn't Patrick's father Jose?
Oh, yeah. Well, he was excited too.
He walked right into the kitchen and dropped some pancakes and was like, it's time to get to work. Carlos was bawling his eyes out when he saw this baby. He was like, let Grandpa give you a sniff.
Yeah, he's sniffing the baby, and babies do smell good. There's this baby smell.
Yeah?
I think they come with a soft spot.
So fresh. Wait,
Fresh.
The scent comes with the soft spot?
No, that when you still have a soft spot, at that age, those babies have this nice baby smell.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That
We were
makes
smelling our nieces and touching the soft
That
spot.
smell wonderful. They smell wonderful. Yeah, because they probably don't have any like BO going on at that
Not
point.
yet.
There's no sweating. There's no
Not
it's just,
yet.
it's just pure sweetness.
Yeah, the kids will start smelling at, I don't know, it depends.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, babies don't smell. Babies smell beautiful. Carlos is sniffing the baby, hugging Thais, but totally ignoring Pat.
Come here, let Grandpa get a whiff. Yeah,
That baby looks like Patrick.
It's a very cute baby.
I'm very surprised because Thais is like, she's a darker skin, dark eyes, dark hair. I would think she has stronger genes. But that baby is Patrick.
I think babies, not an expert over here, but I think babies come out lighter and then they...
It depends.
Yeah.
We have our friend's baby.
I'm thinking.
I'm going to say the name of the baby.
Okay.
Gabby.
Oh, yeah.
Gabby has a nice color that she took after her dad.
Well, she's older now. When she came out of the womb, we don't know how light she was.
I'm pretty sure she had like a nice color. I was a super pale baby with no hair.
You still are. You got some hair now, but...
My dad was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I had no hair.
Shove it back up. Let it cook for a couple more weeks. Yeah, all right. But cute baby. Everyone's getting a whiff. And Patrick tries to bond with Carlos and saying, oh, I can understand how you felt. I have a daughter now too, so I can put myself in your shoes. And Carlos is basically like, yeah, so you know you kidnapped her. Like now you know how it must feel because you kidnapped my daughter.
Yikes. Carlos is very hurt and he lets them know. And I'm glad that he's not putting this just on Patrick, but he says, I'm mad at Thais too because you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me that she's going to the US to get married to you.
You know what? I'm going to put it a little bit on Carlos then, because Carlos created the dynamic where his daughter didn't feel comfortable being completely honest with him.
Yeah, and we see it often on these shows that all these foreign fathers are like such authority dads that, oh, I can't really tell dad's not gonna be happy. So they all are lying to them, and then dads are hurt. Like me and my dad, we have a very solid relationship. We can bicker, obviously. We can yell at each other sometimes, but I would never lie to him.
But this is a great example. Your mom constantly lies to your grandma.
All the time.
Because your grandma created an environment.
Very true.
Where your mom doesn't feel comfortable being honest about, oh, I bought a car. Oh, I'm traveling here. because mom or grandma is going to react in a way that mom just doesn't want to deal with. So I hate to say it, but the parents are creating this dynamic where the kids feel like they can't be honest.
Not to get too personal, but
Get a little personal.
my grandma had a second child that passed away at like 1.5 years old. No one knows why. She never shared with anyone. I asked my mom because I kind of wanted to know. My mom said, when you ask grandma, she loses her shit. Like she does not talk about it. But what happened is that my grandma got so attached to my mom. And my mom grew up in this bubble. She wasn't able to do anything. She couldn't even go on a date. Like she just couldn't do shit. And when she went to college, apparently, my mom went a little nuts. All of a sudden, she was a party girl and she met my dad, who was with a different woman at the time. So they were like, they started their relationship just cheating around.
Yikes.
But my mom went nuts. And my grandma doesn't know. My mom started living with my dad when they were in college. My grandma never knew that. She thought my mom lives with her girlfriends. There is so much that my grandma doesn't know. To this day, my mom keeps lying to her. And when I'm being honest with grandma, my mom is like, shh, just play it on. I'm like, how? I don't want to lie to her. She's going to get pissed, but also, I'm not going to lie.
The things you're lying about aren't worth lying about.
It's so dumb. Like, for example, I bought a new car a couple years ago, right? So I told grandma, and she's like, why did you buy a new car? Your other car broke down. I was like, no, I just, wanted a new car. It's a waste of money. How do you get that money? And my mom's like, oh my God, just tell her your car broke down. And I'm like, why would I say that? It's so silly.
She'll never learn because she doesn't realize, people do these sort of things because everyone's lying to her. And so she thinks the way she thinks in her head is the real world.
And same with my mom. She bought a new car and grandma freaked out. So my mom made up a lie instead of saying, hey, it was time for an upgrade.
Yeah. There's fault on both parties because at some point your mom should be like, you know what? I'm going to be honest with her.
Yeah.
But grandma created this environment where your mom feels like she needs to lie.
Unfortunately, but listen, love grandma to death. She's a very sweet old lady, but I feel bad because she doesn't know a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm putting a little blame here, or a lot of blame on Carlos, because you're mad nobody told you. Carlos, I feel like you created an environment where people were scared to tell you the truth. And so that's a little bit on you.
Yeah,
there,
for sure.
So he basically says, well, I want you to ask for my blessing now. I want an apology. I want you to ask for my blessing. Prove to me that you love Thais, and I'll stop worrying.
I like what Patrick said because it's true. He said, listen, we've been together for 2 years. We've been married for 2 years. We have a baby. I obviously love your daughter. So I'm not going to ask for permission, but I want to earn your respect.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense to me. But also on the flip side, you can just do what you have to do to appease Carlos and move on.
Why would you ask for permission to marry someone when you've been married and have a kid? That makes zero sense.
Just to get it over with and just move on. Yeah. If this is going to be this cloud over your relationship, I guess you just do it.
I feel like, I know Thais kept telling Patrick, we cannot tell Dad. I feel like he should have go behind her back and ask Carlos at the time.
Yeah. Especially because he speaks the language.
Yeah.
I had to dust off the old Google Translate to ask your dad.
But it was beautiful. Carol felt very included.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
No. So there we go. Carlos says, you have a few days. I'll be waiting. All right. Let's go to Nicole and Mahmoud. The sad mime is chasing down Mahmoud through the streets of LA.
Mahmoud, get in the car. Get in the car.
She was looking kind of like a sexy PI with the Mini Cooper, the black leather jacket.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. I mean, she has a vibe always. Mahmoud's just strolling the streets of LA with her luggage.
If I was her, I would slowly troll behind him. I would be curious, where is he going? Because as she said, he left his credit card, he left his phone, he has no money. Instead of just swooping in and being like, get in, I would sort of just kind of tail him quietly and see, where is this guy going?
I think he was trying to get to the airport somehow. But yeah, he shouldn't have left money and everything behind.
It didn't make much sense. I wondered if she grabbed the suitcase and popped it open. Is it empty inside? Like, was this all a bluff?
I think he packed.
Was he pulling John 1992 and I would pretend to run away from home and I would just grab an empty suitcase and walk around the block twice? Like, where's he go? He doesn't have his phone. He doesn't have money. He can't get on an airplane without his ID. So what is he doing?
I hope he brought passport, but he cannot get a ticket without money. So
right. That's why I'm like, was this whole thing a bluff?
I don't think it was because he said, I'm gonna make it back to Egypt somehow. I don't know how. I don't know if the production would, if it really got this bad, if they would give him some money because he is earning money technically.
I don't know if he is.
Well, she is.
She is.
Yeah, but I would think that she would share, so.
Not anymore. But he does end up getting in the car and they go home and they get to the garage and Nicole wants some answers, but he just starts crying. You can see he is hurt. He's like, you told me to get out of your house so many times that it has taken a toll on him.
Yeah, but he also keeps telling her he wants to get a divorce after everything. So, as I always say, I don't understand why they're still together. I know they're not, but why did he go to the US to begin with? They had such a shitty relationship in Egypt.
You don't know if they're not together.
That's a good point.
Which is the saddest part.
That's a good point. We don't know.
She could still be dealing with this. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I do sincerely wonder how much 90 Day influences these couples to stay together and just shoot one more season. We'll pay you $2,000 an episode instead of $1,000. Come on, one more season. And that's why they do this charade.
Who knows?
They get back into the apartment. Nicole, it always breaks my heart how much she mothers him because no matter how much of a fight they're in, how pissed she is, she's always like, "Are you hungry? Do you want me to cook you something? Do you want something to eat?" This time she's like, "You relax. I'll make you tea." Like, she's so mothering. She does every single thing for him except change her wardrobe, right?
And the alcohol thing, but it's true because
she wasn't drinking. She just had it.
No, and that's the thing. And as she should. And she said it. She's like, you need to learn to adapt to be a Muslim in America. Like, yes, I have stuff. I have vodka in my freezer for our guests when they come. Like, that's what we do. We serve drinks.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you or I have to drink it.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, you need to adapt to that.
Also, I know she converted, but you're in an international relationship, Mahmoud. So you've got to respect that a little bit and understand that this is the blending of two cultures.
Well, I think he was hoping that once she converts, she's going to cover her head. She's going to be a Muslim woman. She converted without knowing what it meant. And
right.
She said it. So she's not playing by any rules.
Right. She's definitely not adapted enough for his liking. And he feels like he's done the adapting. And he says, I don't feel like after last night, I just don't feel the love anymore. And Nicole says, all right, well, then we need time to think. It's not healthy to keep doing this, which is good. I'm glad she's aware of that. And he's like, well, I'm not going to leave right now then. I'll stay for a few days and I'll decide if I want to leave or not.
You both should decide.
I know. Yeah. It's a very controlling and it's a controlling thing to say. It's like, I'll decide whether or not this relationship continues, which it's the truth, right? Like one person ultimately does decide, but just the way he said that is a little icky.
She has a say too. And right now she says, well, sure, you can stay a few days, but you have to sleep on an inflatable mattress because we're not sharing a bed.
On the saddest air mattress of all time.
Why? Because it's a single one?
It was, yeah.
She doesn't have space for a double.
It's very true. I guess that's, yeah. Whenever I think of an air mattress, I think of like a decent sized queen air mattress.
If you don't have the space for it.
I guess that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, so he shacks up on the floor and calls it a night. Okay. I think this is a good time to take a break. We will tell you about our sponsors for this episode. And when we come back, we're going to Newark, New York. I don't know. Somewhere in that area.
Queens.
We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. How are you?
I'm good. Much better than Ashley and Manuel.
I think everyone is. This couple really takes a toll on me.
Yeah, we see Manuel's bright pink shirt once again. Tiger shirt. No, what cat is it? Is it a dog? No, tiger has stripes. Mm-hmm. Lion. No, lion's like just
Leopard?
yellow. Leopard. Yeah.
Okay.
Bad at cats.
All right.
Speaking of cats,
Oh, yeah.
guys, we live in Florida, so people have boats. We were just like taking a stroll around the river.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden there's this guy with like 15 plastic bags and a really, really fat cat on the leash. And the cat is like struggling to get on this little, what do you call it? Where you park your boats.
Like a dock?
Yeah. And the cat like does not want to get on the dock because it was moving. And we're like looking at him and he's like, guys, like the cat does not like my little boat. But we thought he's waiting for like a boat, right? Guy, he got on like the smallest little motorboat with the fat cat and those 15 plastic bags, and they off to the sunset they went.
Yeah. Then I spent the rest of the day coming up with cat boat puns. Like catamaran and pontoon.
Yes. That was a fun fat cat.
Yeah. All right. Ashley and Manuel. So Ashley just stormed off because Manuel said, "Oh, she doesn't trust me." And that set her off.
Yeah, she's at the bar at the front, and there's this creep literally hitting on her saying, "Oh, do you want to like lay down on the couch and just like talk to me?"
You know what he was saying?
What?
Like a therapist. Like lay on the couch and tell me.
Sure.
I think that's what it was. I don't think it was like a sexual advance.
Okay, so you're at the bar, drunk. It's like the middle of the night. You think someone wants to be your therapist?
No, but that's just it's a saying. People are like, "Oh, lay down."
Oh, he was definitely hitting on her.
Maybe he was. Either way, he was the enemy in Ashley's eyes. She's like, "I'm doing some man-hating now, so I don't want to talk to you." So she ends up going outside and grabbing a cigarette with Chauncey, who's another bar patron, and Aaron comes
her
out
friend,
as well.
Yeah,
they're all having a cigarette.
And Ashley's like really upset, but Aaron says, "You know what? I checked with the aliens, and the stars are aligned for you, so all good."
Aaron, you were making more sense when you were speaking tongues, because that's a bunch of nonsense.
You mean speaking the language of light?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure.
So Ashley's like, "You know what? Okay, I'll trust you. Let me go and find Manuel, who's also smoking, but a little further down the street." And when she finds him, Manuel's upset because he says, "You said there is no trust, and if there is no trust, there is nothing," which is true.
It's very true.
But they both, there is no trust. But Manuel, you're not really helping her to trust you.
No, everything is a secret. Mm-hmm. And that breeds distrust. And we'll see one of those quote unquote secrets. Now, this next day, Ashley, we see her, she's at the gym, she's sweating it out because we learned Manuel left in the morning while Ashley was sleeping and didn't tell her where he was going.
Didn't even text her, nothing. And apparently he went to get a breakfast with Jonathan, which is fine, but Ashley knew nothing.
Yeah, which if you're trying to build trust, communication is probably the most important thing.
I would be so mad at you unless you're sneaking out to get me a coffee and a muffin.
That would be sweet.
Coming back.
That'd be sweet.
I would be so mad at you if I found out that you're not telling me anything, not even leaving a note or text message, and you just disappeared on me.
Yeah, in a new city.
Yeah.
One you're not familiar with. You're just going to go off and not tell me where you are? That's absurd. That's absurd. And so Ashley is rightfully upset. She comes back from the gym, and this is the messiest hotel room I've seen.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like they've been there for 2 weeks. They've been there for a night I think.
I think they both are messy people. I can sense that.
Yeah. They have bigger issues to worry about than cleaning up after themselves. So they're both wearing headphones. I don't know if you noticed this. Mm-hmm. They're both wearing headphones while they get into this argument. And this is just another sign of like, I'm not taking it seriously. Take your headphones off and have a real conversation. Also,
Ashley, you just put in like a good workout at the gym. You're sweating your ass off and you're just going to lay down on the couch.
That doesn't bother me as much because it's not my couch.
True.
It's someone else's problem when I check out that I've been sweating through this
but
sofa.
Still, it's kind of gross, like sitting there in your own juice.
Yeah, I guess so. But
yeah, they get into this argument and Manuel tells the cameras, so I was being a good husband, letting her sleep. I sneaked out to have a breakfast with Jonathan and now she's mad at me. Which, that kind of got me thinking, does he really think that was okay and like a sweet gesture? Because there is just a miscommunication and they come from different cultures. They just never really talked about it. So in his mind, he's like, oh, I'm letting my wife sleep. Let me go, get out, I'll be back.
No, it's BS. He doesn't like her. And I hate to get on this soapbox again because I did it with Austin and Becca and you finally came around. He doesn't like her. And here is proof. He says
at least he's banging her.
At least and that's all he likes about it.
True.
Is the sex. He doesn't like her as a person. He likes her as a sexual object. And so they're arguing. And he finally goes, wow, what a vacation. This is why I'd rather be by myself. So you just admitted you'd rather be by yourself. That's not what you told her. You told her, oh, I just didn't want to wake you up. I wanted to go to, right? He literally goes, wow, what a vacation. This is why I'd rather be by myself. Okay, what about that whole, I wanted to let you sleep, baby. Oh, sleeping beauty. I didn't want to wake up. You needed rest.
I think he said it because she was mad at him.
No, because when you're mad and you're arguing and you're yelling, the truth just usually finds a way of slipping out.
True.
And that's what I'd rather be by myself.
I mean, he wanted to go on this trip by himself initially.
Yeah.
She just invited herself.
He wants a motorcycle that doesn't even fit her.
That's
he wants
very
a
true.
one-person motorcycle that she's going to pay for.
That's very true.
He doesn't like her.
He may not.
He doesn't like her.
But he likes her money because he's about to get out. He's like, give me money. Give me car. Give me money. Give me money. And she's like,
give me money. That's all I want.
So he just leaves and he's like, this is not working out.
Well, she thinks, which it's not a bad school of thought. He's intentionally sabotaging things so that he can then go out and do his own thing. Like, let's get into a fight so that I can say, you know what? Enough. We're fighting. I'm going out on my own. That's what she thinks he may be doing, which it's a troubling way to think. It's a sad way to think. Mm-hmm. But you may be right because he doesn't seem to enjoy being around you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So there we go. Ashley and Manuel.
Ashley and Manuel, are you ready to go to the Everglades?
Always ready. Of course.
I have too.
I'll never forget the morning I was sitting in my grandparents' kitchen in their condo in Boca Raton. And my grandfather was reading the newspaper. I was having breakfast. And it was the day we were going to the Everglades. I was probably, 8, 9 years old. And I was shitting my pants because I knew what was coming. We took the fan boat. We went and took the fan boat and saw the gators. And
I didn't take the fan boat. It was like a bigger boat with more people.
Okay.
And maybe it was a fan boat, this large one. I would like to get on this small one. Can we go?
Sure. You need the fan boat because that's what allows you to go over all the marshy areas.
I guess it was but there were like 30 people on the board.
You could probably
that was a big boat.
You could probably do 30 on a fan boat.
Not the one they were on.
The one they were on, no, but
it's like for 4 people. There was a 2 down, 2 up, and then the driver. I would love to go on this small one to get up close and personal with these gators.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So, okay, that's the plan. That's how they're going to celebrate Jasmine's birthday. But first, a different aquatic adventure, a bubble bath. And woo, is the blur guy back. I feel like as soon as TLC hears that Gino and Jasmine are going to Miami, they book the blur guy for overtime because Jasmine's always wearing that eeny teeny weeny bikini, and they got to bring out the blur.
Yes. So it's Gino's idea to do the bath time, and I think he has alternative motives to like get her in the mood and put a baby in her.
Even an ulterior motive, some would say.
Is it not alternative? Like alternative rock?
No, it's ulterior, but the way you're using alternative makes sense too.
Here we go. Finally, some of my mistakes actually make sense. So Jasmine is preoccupied with like getting the right outfit for the gators, either like a bright pink one if she falls in the water so they can save her, or a green one so she blends in with the gators, which is what I would go with.
I like the thought she's putting into this.
Yeah. Gino, she's asking Gino for a fashion opinion.
Well, I feel like whatever he says, she'll do the opposite, which is a good test.
Which she didn't. He said pink, she went pink.
I know, but I feel like that's how I would use Gino as a sounding board. What do you think looks good? The yellow one. All right, we're going blue.
Well, Gino finally gets her to the bathroom and he starts wiggling his toes. Yikes.
She likes his feet. She likes their sex life is wild.
Yeah, but I don't need to see that. The camera like really zoomed in and I was like,
People are into feet, and we'll brush right over this because it's probably really a sticky subject, but people are into feet and I don't understand it.
Listen, you be into whatever you want to be into. Just don't show us Gino's feet. Okay?
Yeah. Jasmine's like, you're so sexy. And thank you for the feet dance. But I checked the weather and it's gonna rain. So if we don't leave soon, we're gonna miss the gators.
Which I call BS because they went to the beach.
They went to the beach and then she was like, look at how sunny and clear the sky is.
Well, that brings me back to the alternative or ulterior, as John says, motives that she says, well, the real reason I wanted to leave was because Gino wants to bang to get a baby going and I don't feel it. I'm not ready. I don't have my kids here just yet and I can't think of having a baby.
Yeah. She's like, we gotta go. The alligators are waiting. Later we'll have a quickie. I'll pee on you. All the things you like. Golden shower. Forget the rain shower. We'll have a golden shower. All the things.
Whatever works for you guys.
All the things you like. So yeah, they get to the beach and this is where we learn that Gino probably has a couple people buried in his townhome basement.
Yeah, because he was collecting insects. Yikes.
I love to collect insects, spiders, bees. I'd put the spiders in a jar and I'd watch them fight. It's like, huh?
No.
What?
Yeah.
That is what serial killers do.
I mean, have I put a worm or two into a jar?
Sure. We're all Americans.
Did I put a frog into a jar with some holes? Yes, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Did I collect baby frogs and put them into a jar? Yes, I did. But I always let them go. I didn't like collect them.
Of course.
I just wanted to look at them for a little bit.
You ever put a firefly in a jar?
No.
Oh, that's fun.
No.
Do you know what a firefly is?
I do, but no, I don't like flying bugs. Like I was for a little bit, I was obsessed with baby frogs. Though just like with they look like little sperms.
Little tadpoles.
Yeah, I was collecting those, but I always let them go. And when we went to Croatia, I used to collect crabs. But the same thing, I put them in a bucket. And once I had a few, I let them go.
Sure.
I never kept anything.
Sure. All right. Let's get to the Everglades because it's airboat time.
Yeah. So first, let's kiss some dead gator head.
Yeah. I feel like that's something you would do.
I don't think I would. I would pet it maybe.
Okay,
I would not kiss it.
You'd pet it.
I would not kiss it.
No.
No. But Jasmine did, of course, say, oh, baby.
Who's my little baby? Yeah, that was a huge gator that they saw.
Yeah.
They kind of creep me out. If they're not in a Starbucks parking lot ordering a latte.
Ooh, that was a cutie.
That was a cute one that we saw.
Yeah, that was a nice baby. That was like a baby.
Yeah.
We also saw some floating in the river.
Outside a restaurant. And then...
That was like a teenager.
And then I saw one at NASA.
Yes, you were the only one.
Saw one at
My
NASA.
parents were so mad.
Yeah. So, okay. They see this huge gator. Jasmine's loving it. She's having the time of her life. This is the best birthday she's ever had. So she thinks, it's a good time. I should tell Gino Leandro's crazy idea.
So Leandro signed her up for a beauty pageant workshop in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And Jasmine says, lately I've been so depressed. I lost my confidence. I don't feel sexy anymore. Her alopecia. Is it alopecia?
Yeah.
Her alopecia got bad because of her depression. So she's like, I need that feeling of confidence back. And she didn't want to tell Gino really because she thought he will disapprove, but he was all in. He's like, Fort Lauderdale, that's close to Miami. Sure, baby.
He wants to bang a pageant queen. That's all. Wear the sash. Keep the sash on. Pee on me with the sash.
Well, this is a workshop. I don't know if she's going to actually participate like Natalie.
Also, it's in the Miami area. I would pay a pretty penny if the coach was Darcy for this pageant workshop. You got to manifest it. Got to be snatched.
Oh, I miss Darcy.
I know. Shout out to our girl, Darcy.
It really seems like they're not getting any more deals on Darcy and Stacey.
Last resort, Florian and Stacey.
Oh my gosh. I really hope it's true.
Can you imagine Florian in therapy?
Can you imagine if Florian brings surrounded other people he doesn't even really know because they haven't been on the show in a while?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right. That is Gino and Jasmine. Let's stay tuned for a little beauty pageant workshop. I'm in.
All right. And we have Loren and Alexi. Short and sweet. It's the morning of the surgery. And Loren is like getting emotional saying goodbye to the kids.
Yeah.
And I think it's because she's not going to see them for a few days because of the surgery. She will be recovering at the hotels at the beginning, which makes sense. She has 3 little kids.
Ignorance is such a beautiful thing because, she's saying goodbye to the kids. She told them, oh, mommy's fixing a boo-boo. I'll be back. Nobody cares. The kids don't care, except Shy, who's like a little sad.
Because they're small.
And that's what I'm saying. Ignorance is such a beautiful thing because you don't realize like, oh, yeah, mom's going to get cut up for 5 hours, right? You're not conscious of what's happening.
True.
And so they're not worried. You don't have a care in the world when you're a kid, and it's nice.
I know.
It's nice.
I know.
Now you got to worry about everything when you get older.
I remember when I was a kid, we got wrapped. So we got home and there was just a mess everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And my mom and my dad were like crying. Well, my mom was crying, they were upset. They stole our camera and they stole a lot of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was standing there. I was like, and my friend was there too because I had a play date. And I remember because I was old enough to somehow it's stuck in my head. I was saying, ugh, my mom is crying because of all this mess around.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize what was happening until when I got older. My parents like, remember when we got robbed, they stole a lot of stuff. And I was like, is that what it was? I just thought you were crying because the place was messy and my mom is a clean freak.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Ignorance.
Not the robbing, just my innocence.
The ignorance. Yeah. Ignorance is, I wish I was ignorant to Alexi blowing his nose.
That's a...
What? Ew, that's you. Guys, Teresa, she sounds like an elephant when she is blowing her nose.
That's why I never blow my nose in public. I always need to be alone in the bathroom. Like I would never, my nose can be running. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I would never blow my nose in front of people.
Guys, when Teresa and I first started dating, I lived in a small studio apartment and... She would spend the night and the next morning she'd go into the bathroom and she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I don't know what she would do in there, but she would also blow her nose. And before I got to know Teresa and understand her habits, I literally thought she was in there just really letting it rip. Like, I was like, who is this woman with that much confidence to just be in this guy's apartment that she's dating, just like, I can't even make the noise right now. And then I think it took me months to realize,
really?
Like,
why didn't you say something?
What am I going to say? Like, take a gas X?
How did you finally learn?
Because I think I saw you blow your nose and I was like, oh, that's what that sound is? I literally was like, okay, well, we're not going for Mexican anymore. I was like, I wish I had that confidence to just let it rip.
No, I really don't. But I mean, that's how I blow my nose. That's how my dad blows his nose. That's what we do.
It has got to be so traumatic for your nostrils. It is crazy.
I can't do it any other way.
I've tried to teach you one nostril at a time.
That's just absurd.
I blow my nose like a gentleman, like a lady. It's beautiful. All right, so surgery time. They mark her up, give her a nice little relaxing shot, walk her back to surgery, let the 5 hours begin.
Yeah, let's see that sexy mama when she's done.
Sexy mama. All right. Yeah, she looks good. She looked good.
For 3 kids, she looked amazing.
Yeah, your body, your choice. Wouldn't say a damn thing, but I will say she looked fantastic before the surgery.
She's been working out a lot. She definitely struggled with like gaining weight after having a baby, which is normal for all the ladies, right? But she's been working out a lot. Like I follow her on social media, so I thought like, oh, damn, good for you. You're really getting in shape, and I did think she looked good too. However, understand how she feels. If you don't feel good in your own skin, which I don't either at times, and if this will make you happy, go for it.
Totally. It was just when she was getting marked up, I was like, man, she looks having no kids. She looks good. Having 3 kids, she looks unbelievable. So, but you do you, of course. You gotta do what makes you feel your best.
Yeah. Well, are you ready to go to a flea market?
I'm so ready to talk about Doug.
Doug, the life coach.
And a crystal retailer. Crystal meth, I think, is the crystal
I don't think
selling.
so. I think Doug is just he's like what do you call it? The flower children.
A hippie?
Yeah, kind of like a hippie, just living his best life.
That's one way to put it. I
don't think Doug is on meth. If anything, maybe Doug smokes some weed, which why not?
Sure, you're in Austin. Doug and Sophie really hit it off. Doug tells Sophie, I think you're clairvoyant. And Sophie's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely clairvoyant.
She says her dreams come true the next day. I'm happy mine don't, because when I do remember my dreams, it's just, I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, I've had some weird ones recently.
Really? Why? Tell me.
The most recent one, I don't know if I was naked or just in like boxers, but I was running on the sidewalk in the rain, but like running from something. And I don't know, whenever I'm in my dreams, every action when it needs to be fast or forceful feels like it's underwater. So I was like trying to run, but I couldn't run. It felt so slow, and I don't know what it means. Do you guys know what it means?
I don't remember any of my recent dreams. I barely ever remember my dreams.
Oh,
Let's put it this way.
I was like at the DMV. Something happened.
That's a horrible dream.
I know, it's a nightmare. And I don't know if they closed, or I was like, this line is too long. So then I left the DMV and it was pouring. And for some reason, I was like in my underwear running down the sidewalk, but it was in slow motion. I couldn't get speed.
That's sad.
Yeah. Anyways, so
yes.
They're talking to Doug, and Doug's like, what in your relationship needs improvement? And he says, if you tell me, I can point you in the direction of the crystal that you need to help.
Yeah, so basically when Sophie was advised that they needed therapy, they found Doug.
Yeah. And Doug found amethyst. He thinks that's the solution to all your problems.
Well, a lot of people believe in these crystals. Like, we went to Sedona. I tried to see if they speak to me.
They didn't.
They didn't.
But
and
you
that's
didn't.
okay.
There was no Doug. If there was a Doug behind the counter, I think you would have walked out with a couple crystals.
I don't know. Like, crystals don't really... I really tried to see if they speak to me. They don't speak to me.
Relationships are like crystals. It's about balance and energy. It's like badminton. I was like, what, Doug? You almost had me until you went badminton.
Is it like Batman?
No, badminton is that game with the shuttlecock and the...
Badminton?
Yeah, badminton.
It's badminton.
It's spelled badminton.
I used to play badminton as a sport for like 3 months.
Sounds like you bit your tongue saying...
Have you ever played badminton?
Yeah.
Is it do you guys play this in America?
I played it in America.
Yeah, I used to love it. That's how I kind of broke my leg once. Not fully just like, there was a crack because I jumped and I didn't fall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, badminton was a big part of my lifestyle when I was a young Teresa.
Nice. So they get some amethyst. Rob's like, yeah, whatever helps the relationship.
He also got a crystal.
He got a crystal. And then they're walking away and Doug's like, I'm also a shaman. He's like, take my business card.
They'll be back because they love Doug. I love Doug.
He's probably a realtor and a substitute teacher.
He probably does it all. Why not?
Does it all. Okay. So then we get to the apartment. Sophie's alone. FaceTimes Mother Claire and shares the news that she's back with Rob. She's been living with Rob for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but she says to the cameras that we also signed up for couples therapy because I don't think the crystals can do the job by themselves.
Oh, shocker.
That was good. That was a good move.
Shocker. So Sophie says there's still some issues with trust. Maybe therapy will help with that. Maybe it won't. But Claire's like, trust? Why? What's going on? Has there been anything fishy happening lately? And we get some footage. We get a little This footage looked like an episode of Cheaters. I don't know if you ever watched Cheaters.
No. Is it the catfish?
No. Cheaters is a wild show.
Was it on MTV?
No, I think it was on like the CW or TBS or something.
Idea.
One partner suspects another of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So they hire this guy and he gets to the bottom of it. He's a private investigator. He gets to the bottom of things. And of course, there's someone cheating. And they have to confront the cheater and you've been cheating. And I'm pretty sure in one episode, they confronted the cheater and then like the host of the show got stabbed on a boat.
What?
I could be making this up, and I'm pretty sure.
Jesus.
You guys will call and you'll let me know.
Like, did the host die?
I don't think so.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean,
wild show.
Wild.
So, okay. Sophie's like, the other day we were on the bed and I felt this weird vibration. Check your nightstand. It wasn't either of our phones. Then I heard this voice on the voicemail and Rob said his phone was on airplane mode, so it couldn't have been his phone.
Which is so strange because there are cameras around. They were shooting.
Yeah.
How do you hear your voicemail like that?
Yeah. If your phone is connected to your Bluetooth speaker, I guess you could.
Why would you connect your burner phone to a Bluetooth speaker?
Maybe just automatically paired somehow. I don't know.
If someone's calling you, unless it's not a voicemail machine. Like, I don't even have a voicemail, I don't think. Well, maybe I do.
You definitely do.
I mean, I do, but I don't say, hi, it's Teresa, please leave me a message.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
No, but you could never hear it.
I don't think. But Claire's like, oh, he's got a hoe phone. It's a hoe phone, of course. All guys have a hoe phone.
Do you have a hoe phone?
No.
I'm gonna check your drawer. I mean, I check it sometimes when I clean.
No, I don't have a hoe phone.
John has no hoe phone, guys.
No phone.
Unless he's hiding it really well.
No hoe phone. No, she says all guys who cheat have a hoe phone. I have no hoe phone. And Claire goes, well, there's definitely another phone in your house. Don't give up so quickly. And Sophie's like, all right, I'll check.
Yeah, Sophie's like, if there is a phone, I'll find it. And Claire's like, not if. There is. There is a hoe phone.
It's not an if. There's a hoe phone.
So she's trying to check behind the tarantulas, but she's not very successful because she's afraid. Sophie, they're in a box. You just move the tarantulas and take a look.
Man, what Gino would do to get those things fighting.
Ooh.
He would love to organize a fight between those guys.
We'll see if she finds it.
Yeah, she didn't find it in this episode. Maybe next episode. But that's the episode.
That's it. It was pretty good.
What an episode. Yeah, very enjoyable. Also enjoyable, Love in Paradise.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Which we're talking about on the Patreon and the Supercast. So if you guys want to hear our thoughts on that, come on over. Patreon.com/MarriedToReality, MarriedToReality.supercast.com. We are having a blast talking about that show.
A blast.
So join us over there at the Cousins Club or Family Affair level. Of course, it's ad-free. Patreon has that fun little chat that we fire up and talk to each other. We talk about the episodes and all other sorts of things.
Yeah, you guys chat too. I love when you guys chat with each other. It's like a little community who loves all this craziness.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
So check it out, Patreon and Supercast. Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Call in over there, share your thoughts. Make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as The hoe phone, because I've never heard the term before. It's pretty fun. Hoe phone.
Hoe phone. Yeah. All right, smash it because it's hot as the. I'm sure Sophie will smash the hoe phone if she finds it. So.
Oh yeah. E.T. hoe phone.
And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. You guys know we're suckers for a little love. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it on this podcast right here for the world to hear.
Yes.
All right. That is it. I've said it all.
I've said it all.
Sure have. Means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.